It is that time of the year. How are your nerves coming into it, Brian? Has it start to hit you yet?
Not yet. Normally it hits me the night before when I torture myself, or not torture myself, look at all the Gazzagat moments, the Rafa van der Vaart moments, 5-1s, the 3-2s, the fan reactions after wins. Then it starts pumping, hardly any sleep, gets to Scotland Yard early, and the nerves kick in once the team news comes out. That final hour feels like 3 weeks. That's when the nerves kick in.
So, in terms of how you think this game is going to play out, are you looking back at last year's game and thinking, look, that game could have gone very differently if things went for us, or are you very nervous about Arsenal picking apart our flaws?
Well, until we heard the news that Mickey and Solanke were fit, I was very, very nervous, very, very nervous and worried. Now that they're back in, I feel a lot more confident. I do feel a lot more confident. They're integral, aren't they? If we look at it, we all know what Van der Ven brings to this football team. When you were doing that predicted lineup, I had been on the thought of maybe playing him at left back and resting Destiny just to deal with Saka. But the more and more I think about it, you've got to play Van der Ven in the centre. So I think Solanke is massive. I think Solanke is absolutely a massive, massive plus for us, because we saw in Newcastle the amount of crosses we're putting in the box with no one there. And obviously he would have been there. Not saying he would have scored all of them, but you alluded to it as well, Ben and Sim. From what I remember, Gaza had his home debut against Arsenal, scored a goal.
Right.
Gareth Bale had his home debut against Arsenal, scored a goal. There's been a few people that have had their home debut against this lot and have scored. And
Danny Rose.
Mate, how can we forget him? There are a few players that have scored on their home, not just their home day, their first North London derby, their home debut. And Solanke will add to that list on Sunday.
Yeah, I'm sure of it as well. The news about Bissouma is like he's obviously not training at the moment. He has got a few more training sessions to go before the game. If he is out, how much of a blow is that for us?
Well, I'm kind of looking at it the other way, Ben. I'd rather, and I don't mean this because of it, I'd rather he is out, because we know that we could be losing Bentancur for XYZ amount of time. So why risk him when he could be very, very important and pivotal to us over the 6 to 12 games, whatever it may be? Do you bring him on for this game and say, right, we desperately need you? Or do we think long term? Kind of like, do you remember last year or the year before when Bentancur got injured before Bissouma went to the AFCONs? Was that last year or the season before? I think it was last season, wasn't it?
It was last season, yeah.
Yeah. And then obviously Bentancur was out when we desperately needed him. So for me, if Bentancur's going to be out for a while, and let's face it, I think he's going to be minimum of the 6, I don't risk Bissouma. I don't risk Bissouma in this game, especially when you've got Archie Gray as well that can go there. So I would stick with exactly your lineup, but I would change one, and I would start Odegaard
instead of Brennan.
Yeah, the only reason you said as well, I think he did really well against Newcastle, and I've backed him. I've come on these shows and the fan shows and defended him. But I think he also took a lot of abuse from Wales on international duty. I think his confidence is probably as low could be. And he does make a huge difference having an impact sub. So do you just start with Odegaard and the unknown for Arsenal and see if he can terrify them, and then have Brennan come on and have the impact that he does do when he comes off the bench? So the one change I'd make to your lineup, I would start Odegaard over Johnson.
Talking about lineups, Arsenal got a lot of injuries in this derby, with Odegaard most likely out, Rice is suspended, Moreno's out. How much of an impact do you see that having on the game?
Well, I don't think Moreno has even started a game for them, has he? He's been bought and he's injured, so I can't see how people are using that, especially Arsenal fans, as oh, he's out. Well, you've not had him at all. So I've seen something today or recently that was just sent to me that Arteta hasn't. Norway, the doctors have said 3 weeks, but I think Arteta hasn't ruled them out officially. So mind games going there. Rice is massive for them. If Odegaard isn't there, then it's a golden opportunity. It's a golden, not just a a very creative player for them, but their captain. They're two very influential players out for them. So if they're out, and let's hope they are for this game, well, Rice definitely is, but Odegaard, then we've really got to grab the ball by the horns and go for the jugular straight off the bat, because their heartbeat in the centre's out, isn't it, if them two are out?
Yeah, absolutely. And I was saying to Sim before, like the first game in this, the first goal in this game is so vital. And I feel like if we do get that first goal early doors, it's going to force them, it's going to force their hand to be even more, come out even more than they maybe do in the first 10, 15, 20 minutes. And we got to put it on them. We got to get that goal in the first 10 minutes, don't we?
Oh, mate, that would be the ideal thing. But what we do need is that even if we don't get the goal, is to be on that front foot for the first 10 minutes, set the tone, set the agenda. If one of our players have to go in and do a crunching tackle to say, listen, we are here, this ain't going to be an easy game for you, and just set the tone. I think it's more vital that in that 10 minutes we don't concede than we score, if that makes sense. I mean, we saw when we went 1-0 down last time, Van der Ven scored that goal and we went back on top. I just pray we don't concede an early goal. We concede an early goal, it could be a very long afternoon, but hopefully we'll do what you said, Ben, and we'll get a goal in the first 10 minutes.
We'll go on and batter them.
So you've got no worries about keeping Decky with Maddison in the centre against this level of opposition?
No, I mean, you look at it, Ben, Simeon, sorry, and you look at our team. Obviously, you and me have discussed Kulusevski on many occasions and will continue to do so, but I can't fault him when he's been playing in the centre. And I think he's got to play there. And I think if Odegaard and Rice are out, they're going with two creative or two more attack-minded midfielders is the way to take it to them and have that first 10 minutes. If they were there, then maybe I would say we need another defensive one alongside Bentancur, and maybe the Basuma talk or Archie Gray becomes bigger. But yeah, I've got no problem with that lineup you said, apart from Odegaard. But I think it's something we've wanted to see, haven't we? The attack, especially in our home opener, and with Solanke there. As much ammunition as we could give him, we've got to do it. And I think Kulusevski has done very well in the centre. There's no getting away from it. I think he's been a breath of fresh air when he's played in the centre. And Maddison's done a lot of talking this week, hasn't he? Yeah. He's done a lot of talking for the media and said, we know how big this game is and blah, blah, blah. Go out and show it on that pitch.
It's time to back it up.
Completely, Ben, completely. It's all good. Listen, we know on both sides, when it's the North London derby, the media responsibilities from the players and the questions, we know how important this game is. Well, yeah, we know how it is. We come and deliver the passion, the fire, the atmosphere for you to play. You do it on the pitch. You do it on the pitch.
Is Ange under pressure for you to get a result in this game?
The way I look at it, the manager should be under pressure every single match to get the result. This game, listen, Ange, I fully back. I'm fully behind, but I do have a feeling if we get open up, if it was like the 3-0, let's say the first half, I think that stadium will turn, and I don't agree with it at all.
Particularly not against that law. We can't be turning on the team or the manager or on anyone in a North London derby day.
No, listen, I even stand by that. But if there is to be any hatred, you know where I would direct it. But
even that, like on North London derby day, that should not be coming out.
Yeah, listen, whether it does or whether it doesn't isn't the issue. What it should be is with Ange. Like I've said, I've never turned on a manager, and I'm not starting anytime soon. And let's just hope the boys go out and do what he has asked to do. And they, like I said, we have these, but I don't want to hear at the end of the game, oh, we'll come back bigger, stronger. We tried. We're sorry. Yada yada. I want to, like I said, when we went to the Emirates last year, and it was my first time at the Emirates with you, I said, you know what? If we lose, we lose. Just go out there and put in a performance for 90 minutes where you can go off the pitch and hold your head high and just say the better team won. They were excellent at the Emirates last year. Every single player, 1 to 11, and I was proud to be there. I was proud to witness it. Just go out there and leave everything you can on the pitch. And if you do that, then we'll be successful.
Yeah, it feels like this game, if we do take 3 points, can be a bit of a springboard for our season, because we have had poor results so far with the Newcastle, the Leicester game. We've got important games coming up, thick and fast, 2 games a week now until the next international break. And then after that, with big games, we've got to go to Old Trafford. We're playing Brighton. We've got the Europa League starting to come round. So if we do win this game, do you feel as well that it can act as maybe a springboard going into these games?
You got to hope so, wouldn't you? I mean, if there's not a game to give you the biggest springboard, to say, right, let's go have it, is this game against the Filth, isn't it? If you want to set championship contenders for the last 2 years have excelled and gone light years ahead of us, getting a victory over this lot could be an absolute springboard for us. And hopefully it will be. Like you said, Ben, we've got the games coming up 2 a week. It's another reason why I wouldn't play Bissouma as well. With the 2 games a week coming up, forget the ban. Why risk a player that might not be fully fit when now we've got 2 games a week? We saw what happened last season with 1 game a week. Why risk it? Game management is a huge part of this right now for Ange Postecoglou going forward, and he's got to look that way. And hopefully, like you said, the springboard we'll be jumping higher than Tom Daly on a springboard by the end of this game, and I hope we will be.
What's your score prediction, Brian?
I have been going Desmond's. But I heard you say about this whole Josh King thing, and you need the positivity in the air. So I am going to go 3-2.
3-2. Come on, you're exactly the same as Sim. Sim's been 2-2 all the way up till now.
There you go. Great minds think alike.
Come on,
or bad minds think alike, whatever. But if me and Simeon were together, it would be a 3-2 last-minute winner, wouldn't it, Simeon?
Exactly.
2-0 down.
Get your ass down to the lane on Sunday, Brian. Come on.
Brian, any chance of a last-minute flight?
Well, seeing that I've got to get back from my operation Monday, I highly doubt Ilana's going to let me go. So I would fail the fitness test.
I think North London Derby is a bit more important than your operation.
Listen, if you gave me the choice, believe me, I'd rather spend 90 minutes watching Spurs Arsenal than what I'm having to go through. But yeah, no chance of me being there for this one.
What's your I think I know the answer to this. I'm pretty sure I know the answer to this, but what's your most favourite North London Derby moment of all time?
Well, obviously there's the Gaza free. I mean, that just
that's what I was thinking, yeah.
But I will say, and I'm going to say one that no one will say, I can guarantee it. I remember my first ever North London derby without my dad, where I went with mates as a season ticket holder, was when we beat the Filth 2-1 in the 95-96 season, where Chris Armstrong scored the winner. Raw Fox destroyed Arsenal that day. But most importantly, it was the first game back for Seaman after the Naeem from the halfway line. So the atmosphere was just incredible. After the game, we didn't leave for an hour and a half, so the Arsenal fans couldn't leave. So I would have to, if it was a footballing moment, Gaza by a country mile, my favourite lifetime experience there was definitely seeing my first NLD win and good old Chris Armstrong scoring the winner.
That must have been an atmosphere to die for. Was it just Naeem from the halfway line for 90 minutes?
Well, Bergkamp scored and went 1-0 up, but he scored from the 6-yard line. So Arsenal started singing Bergkamp from the 6-yard line because they thought that was some kind of fun. And then obviously Naeem from up. But the best thing was in the second half when Seaman started coming down to the Paxton, and we're all, let's all do the Seaman, let's all do the Seaman. that was something that you could never ever replace. So that goes down as definitely the best live moment.
Yeah, I mean, just football's just not the same. Going to, you just don't get that anymore on a consistent basis. Maybe on the one-off odd occasions sometimes. But Brian, I hope you get some sleep this weekend. It's going to be a long couple of days now before the game kicks off at 2 p.m. on Sunday. You going to the yard?
Of course I'm going to the yard, but most importantly, Ben, you forgot there's you and me bingo. I've got to get back from 16-6 down. So that's what I'm looking forward to now. The bingo session with you and me later. I
think we're going to have to play a lot of bingo just to pass the time because it's going to be a very anxious couple of days now. All right?
I'm all down for it. You just WhatsApp me and say you're in. Maybe Simeon gets involved as well.
Yeah, why are you leaving me out? What's going on here?
Mate, I'm already 16-6 down. I don't need you to come in.
Big up,
Guys, I
Brian.
will see you later. Have a great weekend. Come on, you Spurs. David Pleat
Come on.
and his blue and white army. Leave you out.
Oh, don't mention David Pleat and his Blue White Army when we got Coventry coming up next game.
Oh, yes. Retract.